डिटेल और आता है, कोई बात नहीं करनी। समझा? याद रखिएगा। ऑन है? Namo Buddhaya. Very good morning and welcome to the Sunday program. Today we are going to start the puja and there are some dedications. Today Sangadana is offered by Mr. Balakrishna, dedicated to his dear puppy dog which passed away on 26th October. So may this dog share all the punya and get better birth and progress. Second dedication is Vrinda Bhikaji Sonwane from Mumbai, requested for the merit sharing in the name of late Bhikaji Lakshman Sonwane, father, and uncle Jaganram Sonwane, and cousin Ajinkya Gajanand Gadge, and Samadhan Khandare. So may all these people who have passed away, they share all the merits. And today, our Pamokkha Bhanteji's Guruji in Myanmar, most venerable Jagarabhivangsa Sayadaw, he also passed away in the early hours today, early morning. We do puja in his name, and may our merits help, and may Bhante's whole lifelong Dhamma practice help to progress towards Nibbana and attain to Nibbana. And these dedications, and one more is Upasika Rekha Chakma. She requested for her health issues. May she recover soon and may she be happy. So we will do the puja now.
Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakhado Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namassami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namah Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti piso Bhagavaraham Samma Sambuddha Vijacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavido Anuttaro Purisathamma Sarathi Satha Deva Manusanam Buddha Bhagavati Namo Dasa Sama Sambuddhasa Esha Buddhaya Dedacha Esha Buddha Nagata Pachopana Chaye Buddhaya Hang Vandami Sabada Nati me saranaganyang Buddha me saranang varang Etena sacha vajena hotu te jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang padabang suvarottamang Buddheya khalido doso buddho kamadudang mamang Buddhang yavanibana pariyantang saranang Swakado bhagavata dhammo sandhiteko kaliko Yahivasiko opanaiko Chatang vedita bhovenyo hede Namo dasani anika sadhamasa Echa dhamma dedacha echa dhamma nagata Pachopana jaye dhamma yahang vandami sabada Nati me saranaganyang dhammo me saranang varang Etena sacha vajena hotu te jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang dhammancha devedang varang Dhammeyo khalido doso dhammo kamatudang mamang Dhammang yava ang saranang Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Swamicipatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidang Jatari Purisa Yogani Atha Purisa Pokala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneya Bahuneya Dakineya Anjali Karaniya Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati Namo Dasa Atharya Mokala Mahasanghasa Echa Sanghaya Dedacha Echa Sanghaya Nagata Pachopana Chaye Sanghaya Hangvandami Sabada Nati me saranaganyang sangho me saranang varang Etena sacha vajena hotu te jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang sanghancha devedottamang Sangheyo khalido doso sangho kamatudang mamang Sanghang yavanibana pariyantang saranang Evang buddhang sarantanang dhammang ekabo bhayang va mahang sonahe sati Ganasara paditena devena damodhang sena telo Evang sambuddhang pujayami tamonudang gandha samarayotena dhupena hang sugandhena pujaye pujaniyantang pujavajanamuttamang vannagandhang Sangkusuma sandating pujayami munindasa siddhi pada saroruhe pujami buddhang kusumena nena punyena metena chahotu mukhang upang milaya diyathaya dhamme kaya tathaya vinasavavang nirodha samapatita udayatva nisinasavya bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa imena dipena dhupena pupena pujemi Jemi Emang Devadho Baba Baba Jadinama Sakala Sambuddhanam Pacheka Buddhanam Akasavakanam Mahasavakanam Arhantanam Pakati Selang Aham Videsaganuvatakomi Emani Popani Vanena Pesovanam Gandhena Pesogandham Santhanena Pesosanthanam Kepamevado Banagdo Gandham Dosanthanam Papane Sade Evameva Nabe Sankharayani Cha Sabe Sankhara Dukha Sabe Dhammayana Tadi Demaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipateya Buddha Emaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipateya Emaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipateya Sangham Vandami Chetiyam Vadhane Supatitidang Saririkadhadu Mahabodhin Buddharupam Yasamule Nisinno Vasabhari Vijayangaka Patto Sapanyotang Sathavandetang Bodhipadapang Imeyete Mahabodhi Lokanathena Pujita Ahang Vede Namasami Bodhiraja Namah Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Vipate Padivahaya Siddhya Sapadokang Vinasaya Sapabhayang Vinasaya Saparogang Vinasaya Bhavedegaya Kadayakang Sapalokang Hidataya Paritang Tang Manamahe Samantha Chakavale Suatra Gachantu Devata Sadhamang Muniraja Sasunanto Sagamokadang Dhamma Savana Kalo Yang Vadanta Dhamma savana kalo yang vadanta Dhamma savana kalo yang vadanta Parveta savana kalo yang vadanta Namo tassa Arahato Sammang Sambuddhassa Karaniyamata Kosalena Yantang Santang Padang Abhisamecha Sako Joja Sojoja Sovajoja Samudo Anatimani Santo Sakocha Subharocha Yapakecha Sallahu Kaboti Santendriyacha Nipakocha Yapagabho Kuleso Nanugedho Nachakadang Samachare Kinche Yena Vinyo Pareyo Pavadeyo Sukhino Vakemino Honto Sabbe Sata Bhavanto Sukhidata Eke Chipana Buddha Titha Savata Varavaya Navaseta Degavaye Mahandava Majjhima Rasakanu Katula Dekha Aye Chadore Vasande Avedore Bodhava Sambhave Parimanam Metancha Sabbalokasming Manasang Bhavaye Aparimanam Vadang Adhocha Diriyanchaya Sangvadang Avera Asapadang Tetancharan Nisenova Yavata Sabigatamidho Edang Sating Aditya Brahma Metang Viharang Idamao Detenchanopagamma Silavadasanena Sampanno Kame Sovinayagedhang Nahi Jato Gapase Yang punane tete doka padasha nibhaya soka Vantu sabbe pipanino yedena Dena soti te honto sabada yedena Na sabado kavena sado edena Vaya vena sado edena Jena sabaroga sado edena Jena hotu te jaya mangalang edena Vajena Padu de Ratanatayang Sabedya Vimajando Sabaroga Vinasado Mate Bhavado Antarayo Sukhe Degayuko Bhava Bhavado Sabmangalam Rakhanto Vadevada Sabhavadhanu Bhavena Sada Sukhe Bhavado Sabmangala Rakhanto Sabadevada Sabadhamma No Bhavena Sada Sote Bhavantu Te Bhavado Sabmangala Rakhanto Sabadevada Sabsanghanu Bhavena Sada Sote Bhavantu Te Nakataya Kabodana Papaggaha Nivarana Paretasanu Anto Deo Padave Devo Vasatu Kalena Sasatambate Dosham Vedo Bhavadu Lokasya Raja Bhavadu Dhammiko Yang Nimitang Avamangalancha Yashamana Posakunas Sadho Papaggahadusavinang Kandang Buddhanubhave Navinasamento Dhammanubhave Navinasamento Sanghano Samendo Agasatacha Bhummatha Deva Naga Mahedhika Punyandang Anumodedva Chirang Sasanang Chirara Kando Desanang Chirara Kando Mang Parang Etavadacham Adang Sabbe Devaya Numadando Sabbe Anumodantu Sabba Sambati Sedeya Nibbana Tisedeya Edang Nonyati Nang Hodu Sugedan Dunyatayo Edang Nonyati Nang Hodu Sugedan Dunyatayo Edang Nonyati Nang Hodu Sugedan Dunyatayo Sabbe Buddha Valabhadavache Gananchayang Malang Arhandanancha Dejena Ranka Mandami Sabaso Sabbe Dhamma Ariya Sachananchayang Malang Dhamma Chakasade Jena Raka Mandami Sabaso Sabbe Sangha Valapata Vimudananchayang Malang Sasanas Jena Manami Sabaso Kayena Vacha Jitena Pamadena Maya Kadang Achayang Gamami Vande Bhuripanya Tathagata Kayena Vacha Jitena Pamadena Maya Kadang Achaya Kamami Dhamma Sanditiko Kaliko Kayena Vacha Chetena Pamadena Maya Kadang Achaya Kamami Sangha Punya Ketang Anotarang imena punya kamena mame bala samagamo sadang samagamo hotu yavani banapatiya edang me punya kamang asavakkayang vahang hotu sabadukhang pamochatu nibbana sapachayo hotu sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the triple gem. Homage at the holy feet of Bada Banteji, Kasapa Banteji, Pamaka Banteji, and the Bhikkhu Sangha, and the venerable monks and venerable Sayalaji, and all the Upasakas and Upasikas who have come here, and those who are online. If you have joined late, once again I welcome. Today we dedicated our puja in the name of our Pamoka Bhante's teacher, Most Venerable Jagara Vivangsa Sayadaw, who passed away today early morning. May all the punya come to Bhanteji and may he keep on blessing us. Dear Upasakas and Upasikas, you are always taking this Trisarana in Panchashila. Those who are wise, those who are serious about life, those who have very strong determination to reach the goal of Nibbana, of enlightenment. Surely you will be remembering the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and you will be taking Trisarana and the Panchashila and sometimes Uposatha Shila. So this is not just one time. It is not that suddenly it happens. It is like a seed, a tiny seed you sow into the mud and then it sprouts. And when it sprouts, slowly it grows. It is very tender. It can break because of wind or rain. But still, if it is protected, it will become little big plant and become stronger. And then one day, as it grows and grows, then it becomes so strong, nothing can really damage it. Similarly, our Trisarana, the going for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha has to become stronger and stronger and stronger. Some people are in the tender stage, some in middle stage, some little bit strong stage. It has to become strong, strong, strong. So for that, every day, morning, evening, remember at home and undertake Trisarana and Panchashila, and as many times as possible, whenever possible, undertake Trisarana and Panchashila from the monks, and like that you develop your saddha, your sati, your wisdom, panya. So all these noble qualities which surely will lead you to enlightenment. So with this understanding, with this awareness, with full of joy, now Upasakas and Upasikas, please take Trisarana and Panchashila. I request Pamoka Bhanteji to administer.
Kamami kamitabang sukino bawantu. Yamang wadami tangwarita. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dudiyambi Buddham saranam gacchami. Dudiyambi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dudiyambi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tadiyambi Buddham saranam gacchami. Tadiyambi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Tadiyambi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tisarana gamanam paribonam. Panati pata. Veramani sikhavaram. Samadhiyami. Adena dana. Veramani sikhavaram. Samadhiyami. Kame sumichachara. Veramani sikhavaram. Samadhiyami. Musawada. Veramani sikhavaram. Samadhiyami. Suramiraya. Mejabamadatana. Veramani sikhavaram. Samadhiyami. Tisarane nasa bencha silan dhaman sarugan suragitam gato abamadi na silan sambadita. So it is time to meditation. So let's meditate. Keep your belly straight. Close your eye normally. Breathe in and breathe out normally and mindfully. Focus on your in-breath and out-breath at the nostril or upper lip. Where's your in-breath and out-breath? Be aware of your in-breath and out-breath. Each and every. Be aware of your in-breath and out-breath mindfully. Later on your body, heatness or coolness, hardness or smoothness, moodness or shabby or cohesiveness will rise clearly, will appears clearly, and then you should focus on it. You should be aware of it. Sometimes on your body, comfortable feeling or uncomfortable feeling will rise clearly, will appears clearly. And then also you should focus on it. You should be aware of it. Sometimes in your mind, happiness or unhappiness will rise, will appears clearly, will be seen clearly, will be known clearly. And then you should focus on it. You should be aware of it. Sometimes your mind is wandering, thinking here and there. And then also you should focus on it, on thinking mind or wavering mind. Sometimes in your mind, lova, dosha, moha, restlessness, remorse, and so on will rise, will be seen clearly. And then also you should focus on it. You should be aware of it. If you focus on in-breath or out-breath, or heatness or coolness, hardness or smoothness, moodness or shabby, cohesiveness of body, it is kaya nupassana satipatthana. If you focus on bodily sensation or mental feeling, it is vedana nupassana satipatthana. If you focus on thinking mind or wavering mind, it is chitta nupassana satipatthana. If you focus on mental phenomena such as lova, dosha, moha, and so on, it is Dhamma Nupassana Satipatthana. You should practice these four kinds of Satipatthana Ramadan. No need to practice one after another, but you should start by focusing on your in-breath and out-breath. Later on, whatever appears in your meditated mind, physical phenomena or mental phenomena, heatness or coolness, hotness or smoothness and so on, those are physical phenomena. Comfortable feeling, uncomfortable feeling, happiness or sadness, thinking mind or wavering mind, and lower dosha mohas, those are mental phenomena. Whatever physical phenomena or mental phenomena appears can be seen in your meditated mind. You should focus on it. You should be aware of it. Not only aware, you focus on the rising and buzzing wheel of physical phenomena and mental phenomena. Physical phenomena and mental phenomena are rising and buzzing away. Whatever physical phenomena rise, next moment they are buzzing away. Whatever mental phenomena rise, next moment they are buzzing away. Yangenchi Samudaya Dhamma, Sabanda Niroda Dhamma, whatever rise, whatever physical phenomena or mental phenomena are rising, those are buzzing away. Whoever's born in the world, they had to buzzing away. Whatever physical phenomena or mental phenomena are rising, next moment they are buzzing away. That is why you focus on the rising and buzzing away of physical phenomena and mental phenomena. But you start by focusing on in-breath and out-breath. Later on, whatever appears, physical phenomena or mental phenomena in your meditated mind, focus on it, aware of it. Watch out rising and buzzing wheel of physical phenomena and mental phenomena. Bhavadu Sabba Mangalam Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddha Nubhavena Sabba Dhamma Nubhavena Sabba Sangha Nubhavena Sarasukhi Bhavantu Te.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to Triple Gem, homage to Bada Banteji, homage to Kasava Banteji, Pamukha Banteji and the Bhikkhu Sangha, and welcome to all on this Sunday morning. Now, those who are offline and online, as you have practiced meditation, now your mind is peaceful, well directed, so it is the suitable time to listen to Dhamma. The Dhamma is for the purification of our mind. We listen to Dhamma again and again so that we can understand it better. We can understand the deeper meaning. We can understand how it actually connects to our ignorance, and then it connects to our wisdom, how it helps us to unfold our wisdom. That's why Lord Buddha has said, Kalena Dhamma Savanam Etang Mangalamuttamam. Timely listening of Dhamma is indeed a great blessing. So today I'm going to talk about a sutta from the Majjhima Nikaya. It's called Bhaddekaratta Sutta. Maybe some of you have heard of it or read about it. It means an auspicious time or an auspicious day, something like that. How to make every day an auspicious day, a good day, useful day. So in this sutta, Lord Buddha has explained. So I would not read the whole sutta, but there is a beautiful gatha in Pali that I will read, and then I will explain the meaning. What Lord Buddha is saying is, he's explaining later on, but first he is saying this gatha. Atitam nanavagameya napatikkanke anagatam yadatitam pahinantam appatancha anagatam pachuppanna chayodhammam tattha tattha vipassati asanghirang asankuppam tang viditva manubruhaye ajjeva kichchang atappam kojanyamaranang suve nahino sangarang tena mahasenena machuna Evam viharing ataping ahorattamatanditam tang me vadde karattoti santo achikhate muni. That's the main verse, and then Lord Buddha explains. What it means is, one should not chase after the past or have too much expectation from the future. Means basically not to go with craving to the past or to the future. What is past is gone, is left behind. The future is not yet reached, it is uncertain. Whatever phenomena that arises now at this moment, Pachuppanna chayo dhammang tattha tattha vipassati. Knowing it correctly, seeing clearly what is arising now at this moment. Asang hirang asang kuppang tang vidham tang viditva manugrohaye. Not taken in, not taken as a hostage, and not shaken, unshaken. In this way, one should develop the mind. We'll explain the meaning. Evang viharing ataping, ardently doing. Ajjeva kichang atappang, whatever should be done today, now. Kojanya maranang sube, who knows when death will come? We don't know. Nahina sangarang tena mahasenena machuna. Because when death comes, we cannot bargain with death. Evang viharing ataping ahorattamatanditang tangbe vadde karattoti santovaje. One who lives like this, with gladness, day and night, he is the one having an auspicious time every day. So this is the fundamental of practicing, not to go to the past. How does one go to the past? Lord Buddha is explaining. In the past, this body was like this. This mind was like this. One recollects like this. Through this body and mind, one had experienced feelings. One recollects them. When one does like that, one falls for craving. That is bound to be. So this Panchakhanda, body and mind, when one recollects, I had so and so experience in the past, it was so pleasant or unpleasant, it was like this or like that. When one goes back there, then one falls for craving. Whatever pleasant experiences were there, one generates a liking. Whatever unpleasant experiences were there in the past, one generates a disliking. And by generating this liking and disliking, one falls for craving. This is how one goes to the past. And then, when one tries to go to the future, in the similar way, let this body be like this in future. Let these sensations be like this, perceptions be like this, mental formations be like this, consciousness be like this. One craves, and let it not be like this. Again one craves. And then, that's why Lord Buddha has said, asang hirang asang kuppang. Not taken as a hostage to the craving. Because when we go like this to the past and think and think and think and think and generate liking and disliking and liking and disliking, our craving increases. Then we are a hostage to our own craving. Then our mind cannot come out of it. It has become a bondage. It has become tied up to the craving. That's why it has become a hostage to this craving when we do like this to the past. or to the future. That's why Lord Buddha says, not taken as a hostage, unshaken. And how does one shake? One shakes again because of craving. Shaking means the mind wavers. When we go to the liking, the mind wavers. When we go to the disliking, the mind wavers. At that time, there is no peacefulness of the heart. There is no stability in the mind when one generates liking or disliking. This is the realm of Mara. This liking and disliking is the realm of Mara. Mara slays beings, Mara kills beings, Mara destroys beings with the help of liking and disliking. Then there is no escape from Mara. That's why Lord Buddha says, not taken as a hostage to the craving. It was like this in the past, so beautiful, so good, so pleasant. Or it was not good, not beautiful, not pleasant. One falls for liking and disliking. And then let it be like that in future. Let it be like this pleasant. Let it not be like unpleasant. Again, one falls for liking and disliking. And then it becomes a pattern in the mind. It becomes a repeated pattern in the mind. Sometimes we listen to the Dhamma. People tell us not to fall for liking and disliking. But then our sati, sampajanya, samadhi, if it is not developed, then we tend to forget. Then we tend to forget quickly. Because mind has been conditioned with this liking and disliking. This is the predominant force that is working in the mind. Or you can say, in other words, this is how Mara controls all beings. This is the real Mara, that controlling all beings at various levels through this liking and disliking. And then if we develop sati, if we develop samadhi, if we develop panya repeatedly, unrelentingly, then we can see that our mind has been taken hostage, is under the control of this liking and disliking. Whatever it thinks, whatever it does with this liking and disliking. Whatever speech is spoken, because of this. Whatever physical actions are done, because of this. Whatever thoughts one think, because of this. That's why Lord Buddha has said, now you are a bondage to this. But then, if you practice like this, not to be under the control, not to be a hostage to this, then you are practicing correctly. Asanghirang asangkuppang, not being a hostage, not being a prisoner. Asangkuppang, unshaken. Then, how does one become unshaken? How does one become shaken in the first place? Because whatever body, sensations, perceptions, these five aggregates, whatever is experienced through them, whatever is done through them, there is a sense of I, there is a sense of self involved. Untrained persons, Lord Buddha says here, how does one become a hostage? He or she sees, he or she sees the body as the self, feeling as the self, perception as the self, mental formations as self, or consciousness as self. That's how one becomes a hostage. That's how one is shaken. Because when one sees or thinks or visualizes, contemplates a self, then what does one do? One thinks, this is myself. This is what I call I. Then what does it do? What does he or she do? They rely on this, they depend on this. They think this is dependable, this is reliable. This, when they think this is reliable, then they think this is not suffering. When you think some person is reliable, some things are reliable, then what automatically comes is this is a source of happiness. This is not a source of suffering. And then one clings to this. When one thinks this is a source of happiness, one will automatically cling to this. This is the nature. And then one becomes a hostage, one becomes a prisoner, and one is shaken, the mind is shaken at that time. Because ultimately, these phenomena, the body, feelings, etc., they are not self, they are not permanent. But then we think they are permanent. We rely on them, we depend on them, we expect them to be in certain way, we want it to be not in certain another way, and then it changes according to its own nature. Then only thing that will arise is dissatisfaction. Satisfaction cannot be found there. That's how one becomes shaken. That's how one becomes a prisoner. And then Lord Buddha further explains, when one sees this body as not self, not really there is no self here. In the perception, in the feeling, in the consciousness, in the mental factors, whatever is panchakhanda, none of them, none of these five aggregates as self, as permanent, as a source of happiness, as dependable. If you think this person is not dependable, this person I cannot depend on, then you don't go to that person. You think these things are not reliable. For example, you go to the market and then you want to buy a table or a chair or anything, whatever you want to buy. Somebody tells you, maybe your friend is going with you or your relative or whatever, or the shopkeeper also may say, this one is not good, not reliable, it will break down. Do you buy that? You don't. Because then there is an understanding when it is not reliable, this will be a source of dissatisfaction, not a source of satisfaction. But then if somebody says this is reliable, this is stable, you can take it, then you take it. Why? Because then there is an underlying impression in your mind, okay, then this should be a source of satisfaction. That's how the mind works. But then, none of these five aggregates are fully reliable. None of these five aggregates are. That's why children cannot depend on the parents for too long. Parents cannot depend on the children for too long. Husband cannot rely on wife for too long. Wife cannot rely on husband for too long. Teacher cannot depend on student for too long. Student cannot depend on teacher for too long. Because it is changing. If you have absolute dependence, only thing that will come out of it is suffering. Lord Buddha had excellent pair of chief disciples, Venerable Mahamoggallana, the great Arahant, Venerable Maharahant, Venerable Sariputta, and Venerable Mahamoggallana. His chief disciples. Great Arahants, great in wisdom, great in power, great in ability. They carried on the duties of the Sangha for such a long time. And when their time came, they attained Parinibbana. And what did the Lord Buddha say? As if there is a great tree and the big branches, the biggest of branches have fallen off. Like that, when Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggallana attained Parinibbana, Lord Buddha says, this assembly, though there are great monks, still it is not as full as it was. It looks empty because the chief disciples have attained Parinibbana. Then he said, still there is no change in the mind of the Tathagata. There is no change in the mind of the Tathagata. It was like what it was when they were, and when they attained Parinibbana, Tathagata's mind did not change. What does it mean? What was he teaching? He was teaching that if I did not have absolute dependence on such great chief disciples, then why should other people place dependence on smaller things? If he had absolute dependence on his chief disciples, then his mind will shake when they pass away. But then he knew from the beginning, this is dependable for some time, but not for all times. That's why when they attained Parinibbana, Tathagata was still equanimous. His mind did not change. He knew whatever is subject to arising is subject to passing away. There is no self here. One cannot continue like this. One cannot absolutely depend on these things. So just think about it. When the Buddha, knowing his chief disciples so wise such great arhants, such powerful arhants. They were not the only arhants in the Sangha. There were so many, Venerable Mahakassapa, Venerable Anuruddha, so many great arhants with great powers and great attainments and great wisdom, Venerable Mahakachayana like this. But then Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggala were still higher than them in their attainments. And that's why Lord Buddha appointed them as chief disciples to manage the affairs of the Sangha. But when they attained Parinibbana, Lord Buddha knew it is to be like this. It cannot be otherwise. So he was still as equanimous as he was when they were. Because he never found absolute dependence on these, even the chief disciples. He knew they can be depended on as long as they live, but one day they have to pass away, and they have to pass away before me. One day they will not be there. So I cannot place absolute dependence. He knew very well chief disciples will pass away before him. They will attain parinibbana before him. So one day they will not be there. That's the way it is. It's just an example. So when we see the phenomena as it is, pleasant, unpleasant, connected to the past, or any thoughts, imaginations, or expectations with regard to the future. When we grasp at it unwisely, then we become a prisoner of liking and disliking. But then, if we reflect wisely whatever happened in the past, as it arose, as it passed away, that's why we have to be in the present. When we are at the present moment, then we can reflect as the phenomena arises, as it passes away. The rising, samudaya dhamma and vaya dhamma. That we can only know at the present moment, not in the past, not in the future also. The nature of phenomena, as it arises, as it passes away. As it arises, as the phenomena arises, then one does not see it as correctly, does not see it correctly, does not see it arising depending on conditions. So one develops a sense of permanence. You go out, you see one nice flower comes in a tree or a plant. This one is beautiful. Or you see in the spring season, the new leaves come on the trees, and then one feels, oh, this one is beautiful. But isn't it dependent on the season? Isn't it dependent on the soil? Isn't it dependent on so many things? Will those new leaves be like this? Is it dependent or independent? It is dependent. That's why when the children are small, the parents say, oh, our son, our daughter So sweet, so nice. And when they grow up, the same children they fight with, isn't it? Because there is no understanding that this has dependently arisen, not permanent, not stable, depending on causes and conditions. It keeps on changing. It will change. Today or tomorrow, it will change. It is bound to change. And then dissatisfaction will arise here. Permanent satisfaction cannot arise. So when one sees the samudaya dhamma as it is, and then when one sees the bhaya dhamma, cessation also as it is, then one understands. What does one understand? Then one understands first noble truth. Sankhitena panchupadana khanda dukkha. These five aggregates, as it arises depending on conditions, unreliable, unstable, as it ceases, again depending on other conditions, causes and conditions, again unreliable, unstable. If one clings to them, these five aggregates, then what does it become? Sankitena panchupadana khanda, it becomes dukkha. It becomes suffering. This is the essence of the first noble truth, no? Sankitena. In short, five aggregates when you cling, this is suffering. In the first noble truth, Lord Buddha says like this. In short, the five aggregates, when one clings to, this is suffering. So when one sees the samudaya dhamma and vaya dhamma as correctly as it is, arising and cessation, depending on causes and conditions, not fixed, not self, not permanent, not stable, not reliable, then one can go to the first noble truth. Then he sees dukkha. Before going to first noble truth, one cannot go to the second noble truth. Then one sees, okay, this is dukkha, and then I go to it. I try to hold on to it. I try to change what is not possible to change. I wish what is not to be attained. And yam pichang nalavati tampi dukkhang. Then automatically, what is it going to be? This is going to be samudaya, cause. I am the one, through my craving, creates the cause, samudaya. Then only one can go to the Nirodha. Okay, if this is not to be, reliable or stable or a source of permanent satisfaction, then what do I do? Then I need to do the reverse of what I had done. Reverse of samudaya. Samudaya is craving. Reverse of samudaya is non-craving. Then I have to do the reverse. What causes the sickness? That cause must be removed. So if the craving causes the sickness, the craving should be removed. Then one can go to the Nirodha. And in the process of understanding dukkha and samudaya and Nirodha, one develops what? One develops panya. And that panya is developed through bhavana, samadhi. And sila is the base of samadhi. So one gradually develops sila, samadhi, panya. This is the magga. That's how one develops the understanding of these four noble truths. Dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, and magga. The suffering, the cause, the cessation, and the path leading to the cessation. When one can develop one's practice like this, then one can be assured of going in the right direction. One can be certain, okay, then I am developing correctly. And this all starts from the present moment. Pachuppanna chayo dhammang tattha tattha vipassati. It all starts where? Pachuppanna chayo dhammang. To be here at this moment, because all these wisdom cannot be developed in the past or in the future. Pachuppanna chayo dhammang. At this present moment, whatever arises, one sees them as arising depending on causes and conditions. Not reliable, not permanent, not self. And ceasing also like this. Tattha tattha vipassati. As it happens, one knows it like that. One knows it according to reality. This is the beginning of the real practice. So, this is the Dhamma message we wish to give you. And this is something, it's not that now I say and then you understand and everything becomes clear. It is not like that. This what you have heard, whatever you can keep in your mind and then recollect and then put it into your practice, those things will gradually make a passage for you inside. Will develop as a path inside. When you recollect them, when you contemplate them, whatever you recollect, you put them into practice, then the path is developed within you. So it is not a matter of, you hear, you understand, and you attain. It's not like that. It's not so simple. It is a matter of repeated cultivations, repeated, persistent practice, effort. Then only these things become clearer and clearer. The wisdom becomes stronger and stronger. So may you all keep remembering, keep contemplating, keep practicing, and keep developing the path within your heart. And may all of you attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sukhino bhavantu.
देखो अच्छी तरह पिंड पाता सब लोग now today most venerable Jagarabhivangsa Jagarabhivangsa Sayadaw passed away at morning 12:15. Bhante was very, very great, learned Bhante. He was Dve Pitaka Dhara. Dve Pitaka Dhara. ऐसा करेंगे or should we offer now only or with all? This one? Dve Pitaka Dhara means Tripitaka. Out of Tripitaka, he knew two Pitaka. He mastered two Pitaka totally. So Dve Pitaka Dhara Dvepitaka Kovida, uh, and he was vice vice chairman of Buddha Sasana Council in Myanmar. If I am correct, there is this highest body of this council, Buddha Sasana Council, which manages the entire Sangha and all related to Buddhism and monks and nuns and all the temples and everything. They work according to the rules and guidance given by this Buddha Sasana Council. It is not that anybody can do anything as they like. So, very responsible body, and he was vice chairman of that. And Bhante was the abbot of Naga Lengu Monastery, that is in the heart of Yangon city, and a very big monastery. Some 4-5 years back, myself and Upasaka Vajira, we visited, and Bhante was very kind and welcomed us very nicely and gave lot of time, and there were about over 700-800 monks and 200 nuns, very huge monastery. So he was the abbot of that monastery, and our Pamoka Bhanteji's Guruji, he passed away at the age of 78 with because of some health issues. So today we will do punya in his name, merit dedication, punya dana, punya sharing. So I request Bhanteji, would you like to say some words? I told what I.
Yeah. So last night, actually early morning, 12:15, at the 12:50, my Guruji demands. So because of her issue, so last 3 week he had to admit the hospital because of her issue. So last week also I got some message. Guruji is sometimes I say unconscious and very low oxygen level. So from that time, I also thinking, oh, very difficult situation. But they clean the kidney. Next day, they clean the kidney. After cleaning the kidney, he become aware. He getting awareness and his oxygen level later become high. He know who is coming to him. So, but unfortunately, last night at around 10 o'clock, one Ubasaka sent me some message. Sarah was brought back to monastery. So he said, the difficult situation. So oxygen is very low level. So 10:30, maybe around 10:30, May, he said Sarah passed away. But next, after 1, 2, 3 minutes, he said again, "Oh, heart is become beating again. So first maybe lows breathing, maybe like this. So but later heartbeat again, appearance. So like that he says. So I also waiting up to 11:30, 11:45. But most of the Bande also gathering and chanting Bhajanga Sutta. So they also watching to Bande gathering. And so later I also I say go and sleep. So morning, early morning, and then I had to get message. So last night, then 12:50 Guruji passed away. So now today, this morning I will do Chivara offering to the Bhikkhu Sangha regarding to my Guruji. And I will do sharing merit, that merit to dedicate it to him. So to get that punya and to rejoice that merit and for the welfare of him. So idam idana sangasati idam idana sangasati idam idana sangasati sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Everybody in your mind, focus your mind. Remember, Bhante 59 vasa is not a small time, for such long time. He was monk and served the Buddha Sasana and trained hundreds and thousands of monks and nuns and lay people and gave this Dhamma, preserved this Dhamma, given his life for this Dhamma. Such great Guruji passed away. We pay our respect and whatever could we have done now, we do the Punyanama.
Kalakasacha me guru no punyataya. Kalakasacha me guru no jagra biwansa namasa. Idi mahathirasa punyataya imandana sangasa demi. Dudiyambi kalakasacha me guru no jagra biwansa namasa. Idima thirasa Onyathaya imandana sangasa demi Dadiyambi kalakasacha me acharyasa Jagra biwansa namasa iti mahathirasa Onyathaya imandana sangasa demi Idano bonyam nibanasa pecheo hotu Idano bonyam nibanasa pecheo hotu Idano bonyam asokaya waham hotu Edawada cha ame sambarang punya sambarang sabe dewa numodandu sabha sambadi setiya sabe buddha numodandu sabha sambadi setiya sabe satta numodandu sabha sambadi setiya nibbana sambadi setiya aga satta cha bhummata bhum dewa naga mahitika bhunyantang anumodetwa Chirang rakhandu sasanam, chirang rakhandu desanam, chirang rakhandu mambaram. Idano nyadinam hotu sukhita hontu nyadeyo, idano nyadinam hotu sukhita hontu nyadeyo. idano guru idam me guru no hotu sukita hotu me guru idano ma me guru no jagra bivanta sanamasa ma thirasa hotu sukita hotu ma me guru idano amagang guru jagra bivanta ma thirasa hotu sukita hotu amagang guru Yathavari Vahabura Paripuranti Sagaram Evameva Itotina Vedana Upakapatu Yathavari Vahabura Paripuranti Sagaram Evameva itotina vedana upakapatu Yathavari vahabura paripuranti sagaram Evameva itotina vedana upakapatu Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May my Guruji Jagra Bhivansa Mathero receives get that bonya, may he rejoice that bonya, and may he get peace of mind, and may he attain Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Paying our salutations to Guruji, Jagaravi Vangsa Sayadaw, and Pamoka Bhanteji. Pamoka Bhante is here for last 6 years, and he has been teaching our monks in our monastic institute and guiding us in many ways. So we are grateful to Pamoka Bhanteji and today giving this opportunity to do the punya and share the punya. So may all beings share and be happy. Sadhu, sadhu. Here we conclude today's morning program, and there will be Kannada discourse after the lunch at 12:30. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಾವು ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. 12:30ಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಧಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರವಚನ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಧಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರವಚನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಿ ತಾವು ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಡಿಸ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. We offer Ahara Puja. The food is offered here and we will chant the Ahara Puja. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato anukampang upadaya patigan